Well, good morning, world. How's everybody out there in YouTube land this morning? All is well here on the good ship Lily 2. It is a sunny, breezy day today, but the big winds from last night finally subsided. So we're kind of rejoicing for that a little bit. Warmed up, 77 degrees in the boat already this morning. Warm breeze blowing, drying some laundry, all my clothes that got wet while I was motoring up here and sailing up here in the rain. I have everything out on the line, trying to dry everything out right now. And guys, let me tell you, it was a rough couple of days, but I am glad to be here now in Cape May, New Jersey, the very southern tip of the New Jersey coastline, getting ready for the next leg. Delaware Bay, Maryland coast. Well, Delaware coast, I guess it would be. Don't know. Don't know. It is a ponderance. I could go either way. So, to New Jersey or to Annapolis or not to Annapolis? That is the question. So, and this is the point where I need to make that decision. Right now, I can tell you the weather looks pretty miserable. Any way I look at it, wind direction, wind speed, wave heights, rain, precipitation, you know, I need to have all of these stars to align in order to proceed and go forward, and right now we're not seeing any alignment. When I have the wave height, I don't have the rain. When I have the precipitation, I don't have the wind direction. Right now, I am not seeing a good departure day to get out of here, but that can change in a day's notice. Definitely not going anywhere today. Good morning, Gene. How you doing, buddy? Definitely not going anywhere today. Tomorrow, we will decide, probably tonight or tomorrow morning, if we're going anywhere tomorrow. So, going to take it one day at a time, closely monitoring the wind, the waves, the weather, the tides. All these things have to kind of align to put us in the right place at the right time. So, hey, good morning, Danny. How are you? Yep, we are staying dry, and it is a beautiful morning here in Cape May. Woke up this morning to listen to the Coast Guard guys. They were out exercising this morning. I could hear them calling the cadences as they were out running and exercising, and then, of course, they had the morning music that they play at the Coast Guard station. So I got up and, you know, saluted my heart and faced the flag, which is on the back of my boat, and did all that kind of stuff this morning. So, hey, Billy boy, how you doing? So it was sort of fun and interesting, but listening to them guys go on and on and on. The wind is blowing a little bit more now out of the east, so not only do we have the advantage of slower wind, but we have a superior wind angle, which has really flattened out the water here. So the boat motion now is dramatically reduced, nice and calm. In fact, from about 1 o'clock on, man, I slept like a rock. So I slept pretty soundly. The wind slowed down, the wave motion slowed down. I wasn't getting rocked like I felt like I was going to fall out of the bed last night. Everything really slowed down. And the old Rockna held just perfectly. No problems with the Rockna last night at all. So, which I think was a question I just missed here. What's the biggest challenges of living on a boat that small? Room, obviously. Room, space for stuff. The anchor held perfectly last night, Gene. Yeah, Steve. Space for stuff, and I'm toting way too much stuff on the boat. I knew that going into this. I have too much gear and stuff on the boat. I still have too much stuff on the boat. It's stuff I'm going to need once I get down to Florida and get back to work. So it's not stuff that I'm going to purge along the way. I have packed and repacked, trying to consolidate stuff. But you know, I look like a Bedouin out here traveling with all this stuff tied onto my boat. It's a bit of a disaster right now, but that's all right. It's fine. It can be this way until I get down to Florida, and then we'll be able to lighten our load considerably. Actually, for a single person, if I wasn't carrying all the crap that I'm carrying, this boat would be a fine sized boat for me. 29 foot for a single person is ideal. I will tell you that a smaller boat gets bounced around a lot more out in the ocean. I can't take nearly as big a wave as easily as a larger boat can. Wave spacing and wave height makes a really big difference. It's magnified on a small boat, and it's really not nearly as much of an ordeal on a much larger boat. I've been out in some pretty big seas on some much bigger boats, and you know, it's just, you know, unless it's really big seas, it's not an issue. So for me, when I see a wave forecast and it's talking about 4 and 5 foot waves, I'm not going out in that. Now, if I had a 45-foot boat, then it wouldn't be that big a deal. On a 29-foot boat, it's a big deal. So it's a big deal as far as my comfort and my body getting knocked around and bruised and stuff by being battered around by stuff. So that's a very big challenge for someone on a small boat. So yeah, Gene, the anchor held perfectly. Tide down Delaware Bay might be another metric in your equation. Yes, David, I always am watching the tide. Yep. Morning, hope the weather breaks for you, as we would love to see you in Annapolis. Well, thanks, Mama's 3. I am not promising I am going to make it to Annapolis, but I've certainly been putting out the effort to get there. Although the next, my next move from here will pretty much be indicative of whether or not I'm going to go to Annapolis. That decision has to be made now. There's no point in me going up the Delaware and up the canal and back down the Chesapeake if I'm not going to go to Annapolis. If I'm not going to go to Annapolis, I should just continue, you know, 3 days down the coast, and I could be into the ICW and well on my way heading down to Florida, so I can get back to work and start making some money. So there's really nothing critical going on in Annapolis. I'm not, you know, speaking. I'm not talking to anybody. I don't have any meets planned. I was hoping to go to Bob Bitchin's party down there and see my buddy Eric, but looks like right now Eric's not even going to be playing at Annapolis this year. So I'm not, you know, I'm not all that enthralled about it. I was hoping to get down there and make some good content, but frankly, without a laptop computer to edit that content, or to, for that matter, even be able to download that content onto something, which right now I do not have the capability of doing with my computer fried, there's just not a lot of motivation right there right now. So we'll see. We'll see. It would be nice to have gone there and met some folks and what have you, but you know, it's not critical to me. I know a lot of the other cruisers are going to be there, and that's fine. You know, those guys are all going there to try to pick up sponsorships and stuff. I'm not so inclined. With the size of my channel, I'm not exactly an ideal candidate for that kind of stuff. So there are a couple of things I wouldn't mind stopping in there and picking up. I'd like to pick up the switch and the through hole for this boat, so I can get my bilge permanently installed, the automatic bilge pump. But it's not critical, you know. I'd like to get this mounted on the boat and installed, but it's not absolutely critical. So we'll see. Having a little mandarin orange for breakfast. So things change all the time. Just do what's best for you. Well, thank you, Mama Tree. I appreciate that. Talk about top 5 things you need to make life easier on the boat. The top 5 things. A larger working dinghy would be nice. That would probably be the top thing. Would be a larger working dinghy. Would probably be my #1 thing that I would need to have on the boat. Other than that, I don't know. You know, a younger, better engine, of course, but my ferryman seems to be chugging along, so eating a lot of oil, but chugging along nonetheless. 12 12 volt refrigeration instead of 110 volt refrigeration would have been nice. But it would require a much larger battery bank, which once again this boat does not have room for. There's no place on this boat for a large battery bank to support 12 volt refrigeration. So, you know, a Bimini and a Dodger on the back would be nice to give me some more protection from the weather. If I had a Bimini and a Dodger, then I would be inclined to take the boat out on days when it's raining without worrying about getting you know, rained on and soaking cold and wet like I did the other day when I got here to Cape May. That day sucked. That was without a doubt the worst day on the boat I've had so far. I made great speeds, I made good distances, but man, I was really beat up, cold, wet, and tired when I got here. So, in fact, there's a really nice day, wind direction, wind speed, wave height, all of those boxes checked. Perfect day for me to head up into Delaware Bay, except for it's going to rain that day. So, so yeah, I guess those would be the things that I would think about. Oh, just do it. Live streams like you've been doing. Rub noses with the rich and famous. Okay. That would save you a lot of miles. Not going to Annapolis would save me a lot of miles. Yes, it certainly would. And it would save me, you know, like 2 weeks or so. So, it should get a lot of views. Yeah, maybe, James, maybe. Morning, Chuck. How are you? How's everybody out there? So, yeah, everything's great here on the boat. We're doing fine. The dog and I are doing fine. I'm going to need to get some provisions again here pretty soon. I'm out of fresh meats. I need to make a fuel run. I can get fuel here in Cape May. That's not too bad, but there's really not a convenient grocery store in this area. It's a couple mile run, and frankly, I just don't have the resources for it right now. So I had moved some funds, had my paycheck get deposited in my account up in Alaska, and apparently my subscription for what's it called, Amazon Prime, my Amazon Prime subscription apparently came due. I wasn't aware of it, and so, you know, I put 200 bucks into my account up there in Alaska, and they took 130 of it for, I don't know why it's 130. I thought Amazon Prime was only 100, but apparently it was like 127 bucks or something. I'm not really sure what that was all about. I just found out about it this morning. I haven't verified it, so easy come, easy go, I guess. So had I known that, I would have canceled that subscription. But it does come in handy. So provides me with a lot of entertainment while on board for the year, because I get to watch Amazon Prime. But it also, you know, saves me shipping on a whole lot of stuff. So, and I like it for that. When I can send birthday gifts and stuff like that to my grandkids, it makes that a whole lot easier. So, anyhow, that's about it for the Good Ship Lily 2. I'm going to get to making myself some breakfast here this morning. Since I'm staying here on the hook, I'm going to have a hot breakfast, a little bit more than my orange and banana, my usual breakfast in the morning. And I don't know, we're just going to keep watching the weather and see what our plans are going to be and what we're going to do from here. But anyhow, kids, we'll have more for you this evening at the 7 o'clock live stream. Maybe we might have a definite plan of where we may be going at that point, but I can tell you today is going to be a day of doing a little R&R, cleaning up here on the boat, doing laundry, that kind of stuff, drying ourselves back out, and washing clothes and getting that kind of stuff done. So, hey, Coyote, how you doing, brother? So, anyhow, with that said, kids, we'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock. Be good, be careful, take good care of each other, and in the description down below, there's links to my Patreon and PayPal, should you want to contribute to the adventure. All donations are greatly appreciated, and as always, much needed. So, thanks, kids. We'll see you tonight. Bye.